The death of hype, the true reason Beyond Meat stock collapsed. And a warning to all investors, Beyond Meat once carried the weight of a revolution on its shoulders. A company promising not just profit, but purpose, a future where innovation could replace tradition. Its story was seductive, its rise meteoric, and its collapse inevitable. Our team at the Hidden Wealth File has dissected the financial anatomy of Beyond Meat's implosion, not to point fingers, but to expose the financial illusion that cost investors billions. What happened to Beyond Meat wasn't a business failure, it was a masterclass in misplaced belief. It began like every Wall Street fairy tale. Beyond Meat, ticker symbol BYND, hit the NASDAQ in 2019 with a mission that seemed unstoppable: transform global eating habits and redefine what meat could be. Within weeks, its stock skyrocketed by more than 800%. The headlines were euphoric. Analysts called it the Tesla of food. Early investors saw themselves as part of the future. But here's the truth. Behind the promise of sustainability and health was a dangerous financial illusion. The hype wasn't just about the product, it was about a story that blinded even the sharpest investors. Our investigation reveals the 3 fatal flaws in the Beyond Meat saga and the warning signs every investor must learn before the next market darling collapses. When Beyond Meat went public, it became one of the most successful IPOs in modern history. The stock opened at $46 and within days surged past $200. For a brief moment, Beyond Meat's total stock value rivaled century-old food giants like Kellogg's and Tyson Foods. A startup with only a fraction of their revenue was suddenly valued in the billions. How did this happen? The psychology of hope. Investors weren't buying earnings, they were buying the narrative. The narrative that plant-based food would dominate the future. The narrative that ESG investing would make this stock morally unshakable. The story was stronger than the numbers, and that was the problem. Our team's analysis of Beyond Meat's early financials revealed a simple truth. The company was losing money faster than it was selling product. Profit margins were razor-thin, while marketing expenses exploded to sustain hype. Analysts raised concerns about scalability and cash burn, but those warnings were drowned out by media euphoria and social validation. Beyond Meat became a meme stock for institutions. Large funds and retail traders alike were betting on cultural momentum, not balance sheets. It wasn't about whether Beyond Meat could make money, it was about believing it should. This is how financial bubbles begin, not with lies, but with faith in a future no one can quantify. The twist in the story came quietly. Beyond Meat's core problem wasn't innovation, it was execution. The company wasn't selling software, it was selling perishable food that demanded an enormous, expensive infrastructure to keep fresh. Reports from 2020 through 2022 highlighted the unspoken challenge. Scaling plant-based meat at industrial levels requires a cold chain network as complex as that of global meat producers. Each patty had to be refrigerated, transported, and stored under strict conditions, at a cost that destroyed profitability. The dream of sustainability ran headlong into the reality of logistics. Our research found that while Beyond Meat's sales volumes grew, so did its production costs. The cost of goods sold remained alarmingly high, sometimes consuming over 70% of revenue. In plain terms, for every dollar Beyond Meat made, most of it was already gone before profit could even be calculated. Then came the warning signs Wall Street ignored. Analysts repeatedly flagged that Beyond Meat's wholesale prices were unsustainable. Its partnerships with major chains like McDonald's and Dunkin' were celebrated in headlines, but the fine print revealed tiny profit margins. Every deal meant more exposure, but not necessarily more money. By mid-2022, reports suggested that inventory levels had ballooned while demand cooled. Competitors entered the market, prices fell, and the cost structure stayed broken. Investors had bought a growth story, but the company was running out of road. And then came the reckoning. When the numbers finally caught up to the narrative, the crash was brutal. Beyond Meat's stock plummeted more than 90% from its all-time high. What had been a $14 billion company now traded below $1 billion. For thousands of investors, this was more than a correction. It was a collapse of confidence. Our analysis identified 3 core lessons, the ultimate defense for every investor navigating hype-driven markets. Focus on fundamentals. A powerful story means nothing without consistent earnings. Always dissect the company's financial statements. If profits are replaced with promises, you're holding a time bomb. Avoid meme mania. In the digital age, markets move on emotion. Don't confuse visibility with value. If everyone is talking about a stock for its symbolism rather than its cash flow, you're not investing, you're speculating. Diversify or die. Never anchor your portfolio to a single high-risk stock, no matter how revolutionary it sounds. True wealth is built on balance, not belief. These are not just strategies, they're shields against the next bubble. Because hype isn't dead. It just reinvents itself under a new name, a new ticker, and a new promise. The collapse of Beyond Meat is more than a cautionary tale. It's a mirror held up to the psychology of modern investing. Every generation has its next big thing. Dot-coms in the 2000s, crypto in the 2020s, and now AI in the 2030s. The details change, but the pattern never does. The lesson is timeless. Markets don't reward belief, they reward discipline. Our investigation into Beyond Meat shows how easy it is for rational investors to become emotional believers. The charts, the projections, the social proof, it all creates a narrative so powerful that facts become background noise. But in the end, every market illusion meets the same fate: gravity. The hidden wealth file exists for one reason: to expose financial myths before they destroy your portfolio. Our mission is simple: to help you recognize hype before it becomes history. Subscribe now to the Hidden Wealth File and join a global community committed to protecting financial truth. Check the link in the description for our free guide on how to analyze company fundamentals and detect red flags in the next so-called revolution. Because as Beyond Meat proved, every market fantasy has an expiration date.